Hello, Fabulous Superstar Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2019. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is. We have an active and powerful sky playing out right now. And we do have a sky that is promising some excitement, some breakthroughs, certainly. Energy is there, but also a sense of possibility, a sense of hope, and a sense of happiness. As we start the month, we are going to have a beautiful new moon right around the 4th or 5th of the month, depending on where you are on the planet, is when this new moon will perfect. It is happening hand in hand with the sun and Mercury and speaking in harmony with Jupiter. I love this energy, and this is happening for you at the very foundation of your chart. This is the bottom of your sky, having to do with home and family of origin. Home really is where the heart is, but it's also where the fun is for you now. And so this can be a time when you feel a sense of hopeful new starts where it comes to a family member, but it can also be a time when on the home front, whether it's buying or selling, moving or redecorating or a new roommate, all of these seem to be very blessed, and you may end up feeling as if you've caught some sort of a lucky break as a result of the changes that do transpire in the early part of the month. You've got a full 2 weeks as we start this month to enjoy this energy and to tap into it. It is also a good idea at this new moon to plan to spend some time on your own, nurturing your own creative voice. Chances are, in the privacy of your own thoughts, you will come up with some truly winning ideas. I would also add that this can be a great blessing for those of you who work from home or work with homes. It can be a time of new opportunities that end up benefiting you tremendously. You should receive some good news where it comes to matters of family of origin, in particular your parents, where it is that applies. And along with this hopeful energy, this sense of renewal and a sense of a fresh start, whether that is for them or in terms of your relationship with them. As we move towards the later part of the month, right around the 19th, we will have a full moon. Now, this full moon is speaking in supreme harmony with your ruling planet, your ancient ruling planet, rather, Mars. And it is going to be Mars who just a couple of days before this full moon moves into your opposite sign. So I think that this is a delightful time. This is social. This is you meeting new people, feeling truly happy by the connections that you're making. At the very least, it will be a time when there are a lot of invitations. There can also be specific requests to have you get involved in particular group endeavors and to work towards them. So that is another way that this energy can be utilized. But ultimately, I feel like there is such a lift that is happening for you thanks to other people around this full moon that it could be about welcoming in new opportunities or just key connections that will enrich your life for a long time to come. If all of that wasn't enough, we've also got a meeting this month, the last meeting of Mars and Uranus in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your workplace. Now, Uranus has been moving through this part of the sky for the better part since the beginning of the decade, right? That's a long time for Uranus to be moving through one part of the sky. And next month will leave for good. But through it all, you have learned to empower yourself with focusing on your day and to allow your days and your smallest moments to be some authentic expression of yourself. Well, Mars gets together with Uranus once every 2 years. And so it's only been a handful of times that Mars and Uranus have met in this part of the sky. And this will be the final time that they meet in this part of the sky for decades to come. So this to me is kind of like, you know, the cherry on top. This is the cap that is put on of these larger lessons that you've been engaged in. And this is likely going to bring with it some changes on the work front where it comes to the workplace or the type of work you're doing or the people who surround you there. It can also bring with it changes where it comes to your own habits and the way in which you believe you are meant to take care of you. This can bring dramatic changes where it comes to your eating habits or your self-care habits. It's like in an instant you see things differently, and it lends itself to you wanting to take care of yourself differently as a result. But of course, as I said, the workplace, coworkers, clients, customers could be behaving in very interesting ways right about now. They can be unpredictable. So it can go one of either direction, but it's going to be an extreme kindness, an extreme joy, or it can go to a place where it feels a little bit uncomfortable. Regardless of how this energy pans out, just know that this is about helping you to leap yourself forward in some way, to move you into a more empowered future for yourself. And that empowered future can mean more opportunity right where you are, or it can mean that you realize you'd rather be doing something different and creating new opportunities for yourself on that front. We've got an active Venus this month as well. Venus will be in the middle to late part of the month, meeting Saturn in the sky, meeting your modern ruling planet Pluto, and meeting the South Node. It really is a powerful time where it comes to your communications. In fact, it is a random synchronistic moment that can have you understanding matters of love, matters of money, matters of pleasure very differently than you did before, where you're realizing some truths about your own motivations and about yourself through these particular endeavors. So it isn't exclusively love. It can be about a conversation, an idea, an insight that revolves around your understanding of prosperity that helps you to in some way change your mind in some significant way. This can cover communication of all kinds. And so just know that your communication will be very powerful at this time. And it is through communication that some of the most powerful and influential things that you will share can be delivered, whether that's on social media, whether it's text message, email, or phone call, or random synchronistic moment. They have the potential to change you and serve as a catalyst moment. Of course, when it comes to matters of love, we have to consider Venus as well, but also that full moon. Because that full moon is speaking with Mars, which will newly be in your opposite sign. So Mars is going to move into your opposite sign in the middle of the month and be there into next month as well. This is going to bring a focus on partnership. If you don't have a partnership, you're going to be very motivated to want to connect with another person. If you are in a partnership, this is going to bring with it a need to just spend more time, pay more attention to your partner. But regardless, it looks like through partnership and love and pursuing love, you have a lot of fun. You enjoy yourself. You're able to cultivate some moments that bring lightness and incorporate even other people in terms of some social events that merge friendship and love together. Because Venus is making some truly consequential connections with other power players in the sky, the type of connections that bring you into alignment with a more fated path and a more fated understanding of what love is for you and what love is going to be for you, it tells me that it isn't just about the motivation of Mars, but it's also about your own contemplations and the conversations you're having with others that are speaking to what is transpiring for you in the context of love. If you are open to meeting someone new, this is going to be a time where you may interact with someone, whether online or in person, very randomly running into somebody, and it feels very fated. It feels very consequential. Now, the thing to remember is with fate, it is ultimately pointing you towards your learning, towards your lessons. I remember a spiritual mentor of mine years ago, she said, when you meet somebody and you have that feeling, you know, you can feel a pull towards them, it doesn't mean that you have to do anything about it. It just means that there's a lesson there for you. What you do with that lesson, up to you. And so I'm passing on this information and this advice to you now because chances are there may very well be somebody where you feel that very strong pull towards them, and there may be factors there that are complicated or not necessarily ideal, and that is something that may need to be factored into as well. But at the end of the day, it is up to you to decide how you will engage others as part of your learning. For those of you who are getting to know somebody, I do feel like this is going to be a time when you are communicating more with this person as part of getting to know them. And they may end up saying things or revealing things, or you saying things to them that you realize afterwards were actually very revealing, and considering what that could mean for the two of you going forward. There's this merge happening now between your unconscious and your own fears and what it is that you are actually speaking about and talking about more regularly. As part of this, just remember, there's some advice that I like to give once in a while, especially when I see a sky like this. That person that you are on a first or second or third or fourth date with, or even 10th date with, I would say, that person is not your therapist. So it's wonderful to want to be intimate, to want emotional intimacy. But I think that sometimes what happens is we kind of can jump over some steps. Now, of course, every relationship is unique. Some people, I'm sure, in the comments right now will say, but my relationship, he was my therapist, she was my therapist. Or maybe you say, I was on a therapy session that first date and we're still together 10 years later. Well, that's awesome. That is all very possible. However, normally, under otherwise more ideal circumstances, you're not necessarily sharing things that are more in alignment with the things that you're healing and the things that you're working on too soon, especially before it truly feels safe to you. And so that is just one thing you want to be a little bit mindful of, because that tendency may be there. And if it's not you who's doing the sharing, it may be them. And afterwards, it might be you thinking, wow, that was a lot of too much information that just came out there. And then, of course, it'll be up to you to decide the right next steps for you. Now, for those of you who are in an established bond, this should be a time where your partner just in some way needs you more, needs your presence more, or you're just feeling more motivated to be with your partner. And as part of this, one thing that you are going to want to watch is communication and communication styles and what the two of you are sharing, but how it is that you are sharing especially. Because it is now that almost offhandedly something can be said that actually ends up having very far-reaching consequences. And that's where you have to trust the fate of your relationship. You have to trust the destiny of your relationship. If this is the right relationship for you, this is the kind of month that will strengthen that bond. But if this is not the right relationship for you, that will become very clear as a result of what is shared. What I love about this month for you, I love the lunar activity. I think that it is so inspired. It is fun. It is exhilarating, especially in the middle of the month. That beautiful full moon will be a party moon for you in particular, and it'll be one that lets you know that there are so many people around you, people who genuinely adore you, who love you, who want to be in your company. And people are ultimately the ones now who will deliver some of the more powerful messages that reach your heart and help you to know love on a deeper level. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every week by logging on to nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded, exclusive video scopes every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes and more, all of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.